Good morning. It is Tuesday, March 4th. I am still just doing recordings at this point. I'm not quite ready to do a live YouTube because I want to make sure that my bandwidth is going to be okay and that sound is okay. Normally, I have one machine and one internet connection for my machine that I trade with. So that's a best practice. Adding live stream or recording or even just opening your browser can really screw with your trading. So if you are listening to me or if you're live, we go live, ideally you want to have your YouTube channel open on one machine and connected and your trading computer completely separate. So for that reason, I will mainly be trading eval accounts. So the maximum I'm going to lose is the cost of the eval if something goes sideways. So anyway, I'm going to start this week by just putting some recordings in the can. We had a big move down yesterday with all of the geopolitical moves and the tariffs being put on and all of the exciting things that go on in the market. You never know what's going to be said that's going to be read by an algorithm and taken positively or negatively. The one thing you have to know and bear in mind is there is not a zero-sum game. Trading is not a zero-sum game. Just because one side is buying and the other side is selling does not necessarily mean there's a loser on one of those sides. I could be opening a position short when somebody else is closing their position long. So they made money going up and then I'm going to short it going down. Now, it could be true probably that both sides are losing. But it's not a zero sum. So just because I'm selling short doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to go with the momentum here because obviously we're pushing down pretty hard. The market is just opening and I have scalped a little bit early this morning with this push down. I think we're going to break the overnight low. So I'm just going to put a target in down here ahead of it and maybe even add to it. I guess my electricity just went out. I might be cutting this short. That's my refrigerator. Sounds like a bomb getting ready to go off. So we have kind of a crappy price rejector here, but it does feel like the momentum is pushing us further down. Now it'll be interesting to see when we break this low, if and when we break this low, if we keep going or if it's a weak break. If it's a weak break, then we may want to go long. And the longer this takes to push down, the more I'm inclined to take this trade off. I'm going to set another order up here and see what's wrong with my fridge. Well, I guess my electricity is okay. Alrighty, so back to work. Okay, so stream of consciousness at the opening. We're having a hard time pushing down, so I'm probably going to take this off or at least put in okay, there we go. All right, so we have pushed down and it is more than a week break. But not much more than a week break. Generally about 12 ticks or 3 points is what we would consider a weak break, but the pressure is definitely downward. So we're going to give it a second. And if it can't go much lower, we're probably going to take a bitty. Okay, so now we have UB. Let's go ahead and go short. Try to get a protective stop in here because I don't necessarily trust it. Okay, that looks good. I'll drag it down a bit. I'm going to give it at least 8 or 10 ticks of room here because we've got a lot of volatility. Sweeps can happen. See, that sweep, we didn't even see how quick it moved up. We'll give it a chance to rebound here. See how far it wants to go up before we push back down. It doesn't look like it's going to push back up very far. Again, I want to try to get that protective stop in as quick as possible. We haven't gone far enough. Now maybe we have. I can't really move my stop down yet. But I can put in a take profit right there. Okay. All right. I'm thinking about going long if we don't break this. Whoops, we broke it again. This might just be one of those really nice, big, juicy sell-off days. Although the NQ over here is pushing up. So I'm going to hold off for just a second. I'd like to see this come down and clean up this unfinished business before I go long. It doesn't look like it's going to give me that opportunity. I'm going to let the market settle down a little bit. I'm going to go check. Yeah, the NQ is really wild this morning. All right, maybe another nosedive. I'm not going to go short with this because you see those sweeps up? That's telling me there's lots of buyers that are okay with this, or that might just be shorts taking their trades off, preparing to reload. So I'm going to clear this current volume. Everybody's bouncing off of their lows. There's enough bounce that I think I can probably take some scalps to the upside. I'm just going to set profit targets in here. And in case we get one big hard sweep down, that would be in our favor. I'll put some buy orders down below. Okay, well, that was good. Let's try another one. And maybe at the bottom of this range. This is typically how I trade the NQ. I let it come to me. And it tells you a lot about volatility. All right, if we're going to push down, I'm going to put a take profit target within this current range. And then I'm going to be prepared to go in a little bit heavier in case we have a big sweep down. Oh, it looks like we're going to sweep up again. All right, reload. Give it a chance to do its thing. Looks like we're going up again. Well, if we're just going to go up from here, then I will trail a stop. Or not. Oh, now we're getting a bit rich here, but it does. NQ is on a tear. And it will drag the other markets up with. But I do want to keep myself protected here. Because any minute we can slam that bid and go straight back down. So we broke the overnight low. Left UB. Yuck. All right. So the buyers came in pretty hard. on that bounce, but we've stayed within the overnight lower distribution. The challenge is, will we now stay down in this low end of the range and go lower today, or will we come back up into this area and fill in this thin spot overnight? We've got a long way to retrace, and if I recall correctly, I believe there was UB at the high. Yesterday, but that was almost 200 points ago. So this bounce looks like it's got some legs. This, though, does not have UB. Well, if it's going to turn and go back down, this would be a logical place for it to happen. So I'm just sitting here with my 200 ticks of profit this morning. And to be honest with you, on a day like this, that's probably enough. And just wait and see. Right now we've got UB at the high. Oh, no, we don't. It's a little too volatile for me to want to stick my nose out there. Okie doke. Shall we get on board with the downside here? Okay. Another 12 ticks. Let's clear this out. I think we got a nice move in the first 10 minutes, so let's let the first 15 minutes play out here. And I think I'm going to pause the recording and fix a cup of coffee. So I will put this up in the YouTube channel, and maybe we'll try our first live and see how that works today. Well, it looks like I'm still gonna, I would rather see this come back down here before I make a choice to go long or short here. There's probably a case to be made for either direction. Okay, so that'll be enough for right now. And this is the challenge in trading: is take your wins, right? Don't get greedy. There's a lot of people would call this chop. It's price discovery. So the market is trying to figure out: does it want to go lower? Does it want to settle in here? Does it want to retrace? So there's a Elliott wave theory we could analyze on a bigger time frame to kind of understand, are we in a wave 4? If we're in a wave 4, we really don't want to trade it. Yesterday was certainly a wave 3 down. So I don't think that was a corrective move to the upside, but until we break much lower and hold the recent highs, we won't really know. So it could take a few days to figure that out, and we could chop around, quote unquote, with price discovery for a day or two. Looks like we are heading down though. The move up was pretty weak on very thin volume. Okay, well, I am gonna go short. I'm gonna go short with 2. I'm gonna break this low, I think. It's a little bit of an aggressive move. It really didn't take it very long to get down here, so that's why I'm making this decision. Yep. I'm gonna stay right ahead of this little node here. See, that was a little bit of absorption, and it went right through it, the big fat round number. All right, if we keep going here, we could have a massive sell-off today. Let's see, but we're bouncing again. We've got nothing but air below us. It's a good place to potentially go long here, but this is very sketchy, I think, for a long. I don't think we're going to hold this low. What we could do on a cheeky long is do it on, missed it. Yeah. Okay. So again, sometimes you're better off being lucky than good. We added to our position, or added to our, we banked another 38 ticks. And with the price action the way it is, definitely a time to sit on hands, let it play out, be happy we've put $250 in the bank. This account's pretty close to getting funded, I think. All right, well, halfway there. But it's been traded 5 days, so if I had a nice big $1,600 day, which could happen today, if it settles down a little bit, we can trade the minis or just 2 or 3 contracts in the micros, and probably put this one over the top. But I think not this morning. So we broke the 15. No, it's just now 15 minutes. So this is the 15-minute low. First 15 minutes of the market open. The top end is way up here at 24. So the next trade available to us would be that 15-minute break. Let's see what happens. Again, I'm going to go get some coffee, so I'm not going to leave this recording just going on while it could take a while before we break, and it could be a weak break at the top and come right back. But we did clear up the UB down here. So now there's really no clear direction other than the energy is up, and NQ is definitely pushing up again. So let's let this play out.